What's up, sucker?
Nothing. It's been a while. You said that. It's
been a while. We've had so many episodes pre-recorded. We haven't recorded one, and it'll probably be 2 months before we issue this one too.
So I just listened Tuesday to I think it was a Bike Shop Secrets that we just released.
Yeah,
and it was out of order.
It was totally out of order.
Yeah.
Did you even remember recording it? It was like 3 months ago.
Yeah, and I was just thinking to myself, God, that was totally out of order. We're gonna have to actually pay attention to it. Like if
order?
Well,
try to make them like future proof.
Yeah, you were like, hey, there's some embargo stuff we can't talk about,
and we've already
released that episode
like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
All right, I got a question for you.
Oh, okay.
Why did the Scarecrow win an award?
Oh, I got this. It's because he was in Wizard of Oz, and I'm pretty sure he got an Emmy.
Nope.
Oh,
it's because he was outstanding in his field.
I wonder if all the scarecrows, like if that's like a Jesus thing, like because they're like nailed up on posts.
Oh my gosh. We've said no politics and no religion on this podcast, buddy.
Right,
we agree to that. That was part of the terms and conditions.
I'm just wondering how they all look at him. Like are there others? Like, do department store dummies look at scarecrows in a different way because they're nailed up on posts?
I don't know. That's interesting.
So
I don't know what's better. They probably have a better view.
Are they envious? Well, I don't know. But if they're on the second floor, they're better.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So.
Okay. I don't know where the hell we're going with this.
I don't either.
You know what I'm excited about? Our podcast continues to grow.
That's awesome.
It's modest growth, but it continues to grow. Like every month, it's more listeners.
Yep.
And Instagram is growing, and it's cool.
Yeah. I get people contacting me, which is awesome. And either telling me I'm full of crap or that they think I was
fine.
right. Yeah, either one. Doesn't matter. I'm happy to hear from them. I'm just a lonely man, and I just want to hear from people. But yeah, no, it's been great. I really enjoy it. The big thing that I've been doing lately is doing a lot more testing of equipment.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kind of share that, but I don't want to,
be like everybody else.
Yeah. This isn't like the goal is not to give you a bunch of stats and tell you how many Newton meters something is and like, whatever, all of that stuff. I may throw out some of that stuff, but really it's to kind of give practical information on stuff we're trying out. There's a number of products that we're trying out, both of us, and give people kind of your viewpoint, which I feel like is like the everyman.
I'm the everyman.
Yep, you're the everyman.
I feel like the everyman.
And then my viewpoint, which is, is it snake oil? Is it real?
Yep.
Is it marketing or is it feasible? Things like that. And so that's kind of what I want to do. Not, I don't want to have like a Canyon bike in the background of our studio that, I'm constantly referencing because they pay my paycheck, So
we have no sponsorships on this podcast currently. We do get some product every once in a while from folks who want us to check it out. And we've had some folks send us some stuff and we've been like, hey, we're going to be open and honest about this. If you send it to us, you're welcome to send it, but we're going to be transparent about what we think. Yeah. Now, Dane and I are having a healthy debate on whether this is a good idea or not. This kind of including some product reviews. I think today we got some product stuff we want to talk about. We also have some more bike shop secret questions, depending on how the time goes. So we'll see how it goes. But let us know, do you dig this content? Do you want us to talk about products or not? I think our perspective is that we're going to talk about products that we've had, long-term review or a bunch of time on, that we either really like or don't like, and give you guys those perspectives. And again, to this point, we're not sponsored. And if we ever do become sponsored, we'll let you guys know in the event that we're talking about a sponsored product. We'll be very clear about that. So you should get unbiased opinions. And some of these things Dane and I have both used, we might not agree.
Yeah.
So you're going to hear the perspective of both of us.
Yeah, that's very true.
So you want to start? You want me to start?
I got my paper in front of me.
Go. So you go for it. So Dane's going to start with a product that he's been digging.
Yeah.
Or suite of products that you've been digging. And if you guys hear thunder and lightning behind us, we apologize. We live in Arizona. We're in the monsoon season. Yeah. And there's a big ass monsoon.
Which is awesome. We love the rain. So I have been riding this brand for a while. It's Vittoria tires. And so a little background on Vittoria is they are We did a podcast with Ken Avery.
Yep.
So, and cool guy. I had been riding Vittoria well before I even knew Ken or got to know him. And
we should disclose that after that podcast, Vittoria sent us some product to ride.
They did. They're
not paying us, but they did send us some product.
Yeah, but I will throw out that I've been riding this product I'm going to talk about before that. So
Roger.
So it wasn't him doing that. The tire inserts I'm going to talk about are a little bit new. So the big background story is I discovered Vittoria back when it was called, and some people may know this, GX or Geeks or whatever you want to call it. And that was the brand name that Vittoria had for their mountain tires. And we had a tire called the Goma. I don't know if anyone's old enough to remember the Goma.
Nobody's old enough.
26 by 2.4, which
no one on this podcast ever rode 24-inch tires. 26-inch tires.
26. Yeah. But I love those tires. They did great. We also had the Saguaro tire that did really well in our area.
How do you spell Saguaro, Dane?
Saguaro.
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 Thank you, because I can't spell. So I've been riding these tires for a long time, and then they changed their name. Finally, Vittoria, who was really, really well known in road, changed their name to the GX brand. They just shelved it and just made it.
So it was
Vittoria.
GX previously.
It was GX was their mountain division, and Vittoria was their road division. Then they got rid of the GX name and just decided to stick with Vittoria.
And if you want to deep dive on this, go back to episode 100,
Yes.
Beyond Marketing, Vittoria's approach to mountain bike tire design and manufacturing.
Look at you having that queued up.
Look at that.
I know. So, okay, to get to the review, I have been riding a tire that they make in our desert conditions. And I ride enduro, downhill, cross-country, trail. I ride everything. This is my favorite tire right now, and it's called an Agarro. So it's the Vittoria Agarro. They come in various widths, pretty much two widths now. They've narrowed it down to 2.4s and 2.6s. They come in 27s and 29s. They usually have just a trail casing. And so Vittoria has in their lineup, they have an enduro casing, which is much more durable, and they have a trail casing for their tubeless tires. The big thing that Vittoria does that I kind of grabbed onto early was they put graphene into their rubber compounds, which allows them to last longer and still have a good bounciness or grippiness, you know.
Yeah, okay. But like we talked about all the technology shit with Ken in that episode.
Right.
Like, how are they working?
So when I ride these tires, the biggest thing that I notice is that the side knobs are pretty even. They're squared off and they're real supportive. So they're not super tall. So like if I ride a DHF or a DHR, any of the Maxxis big tires, like the enduro tires, they have big fluffy knobs and they kind of get a little squirmy on our hardpack. And so what I've noticed on the Agarros is a little bit lower knob. So they do wear a little faster. Like, you know, they're just not as much material, but they're so much lighter. And so when I spin them up to speed, it's faster. When I want to turn the wheel, it's faster. They grip awesome in the corners. They do real well in shale and hardpack, but they still have enough knob to grab into pine needles, like when we're on Mount Lemmon. So for me, it's one of the fastest, lightest tire that it just barely holds on to the enduro category. So like I wouldn't call it a no-brainer enduro tire. I would call it like somebody who wants a light, fast tire. They can ride this as an enduro tire. So only drawback that I found, and I talked to Ken about this, is
Ken Avery, the product manager for
Vittoria. Is that I was getting some sidewall cuts and actually pinch flats, you know, and he suggested I run the new the new enduro tire insert. And so I had been running the old insert, which is kind of round, and the old Vittoria ones, you had to cut them and then loop them around and then zip tie them together.
I mean, he also said there'd been some manufacturing changes that even without the tire insert,
yes,
that may have resolved that.
Yeah.
Right.
They put in, let me see, I made notes. They put in a bead, kind of a bead shield that is wrapped around like where the bead is,
right,
that makes it stiffer near the edge of the rim, so that when you compress the tire down near the rim, it's harder to get your tire to cut at the bead. And that's what I was having problems with. So that's my big take on these tires, is that I want something light, fast, kind of adaptable to almost every terrain, and durable enough, to be able to ride on an enduro bike. I'm super easy on wheels, so the disclaimer to all of this is that if you're known for denting and tearing tires, I would go with their bigger tires and their enduro casing. But if you're a cross-country person that gets aggressive, this would be a great tire. And if you're somebody who's light on tires and wants a faster enduro bike, this would be a great tire. So.
It's interesting. When we talked to Ken, and I think one of the things he told us that we can't give any specifics, right? We shouldn't give any specifics, but like they make tires for more than just Vittoria factory. And so that kind of opened my eyes a little bit. And then they did send us a couple. They sent me a Mazda and Martello, which I had started on my e-bike. I've just put on my enduro bike,
which I had already pushed on you.
You had already pushed on me, and I was not a Vittoria fan. But since I started riding them, I am now systemically going through every one of our bikes and swapping them all over from primarily Maxxis to primarily Vittoria. One of the things I've had a lot of just love for is the mezcals on my gravel bike.
Yeah.
It is just fantastic.
It's a great tire.
Like I think I've tried 4 or 5 different gravel tire configurations, and at least for the loose over hard dry pack that we have out here in the desert for like cross country type trails on that gravel bike, those mezcals are.
And they're fast.
They're fast.
We sell a lot of those to Leadville, like our Leadville athletes that go do Leadville. They love that tire. So the insert that I got from him that's new is the biggest drawback to their old one. It was kind of round, and so you could run flat all the time on it. Not all the time, but you could run flat on it. It was so round and filled your tire so much that you could have a flat tire and still ride in. You can still do that on the new one, but it's shaped closer to a cush core, where it has like kind of a bead lock center channel, and then it kind of flares out to protect the rim. And the big thing that, because I've ridden a lot of different inserts, and I got to say that this is one of the lightest inserts I've ever ridden. And so I did some calculations, because unlike you, I'm doing the opposite. I've been going through my garage and kind of forcing myself to try new tires, because I get into a tire I like and I just stick with it.
Right.
And I'm trying to try new products. So I'm trying those.
Hence the Schwalbe.
The Schwalbes. Yep. Trying the new Schwalbes. I've been putting Maxxis back on my bike to ride them.
What?
Yeah.
You put Maxxis back on your bike?
Yeah. Maxxis makes a great tire.
Shut the front door.
There's nothing wrong with a Maxxis. I just. Oh my God.
Dane's riding Maxxis.
I know. I just get to a point where I'm like, sometimes people buy Maxxis because of the hype and not necessarily because it's the best tire.
Yeah.
So I like a little bit of an underdog, and Vittoria was kind of that underdog that would consistently shine if you actually tried them.
Can I take us down a rabbit hole?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but my buddy Chris's bike's out in the garage. You're going to take his fork home to work on it.
Yeah.
And he showed up there today with new tires. He was all excited. I got new tires.
Yeah.
And so he's got a Ranger, Revel Ranger, which is effectively like a downcountry / cross country bike.
Yeah.
It's like a 130, 120.
Yeah.
And he shows up with 2.6 DHFs, front and back.
Yep. Yeah.
Same tire.
Yep.
Yeah. He's like, I got him for $50, man.
Yeah. Well, so like we have a guy, and he's probably going to listen to this, he's going to get mad at me and send me, some sort of
hate mail.
Yeah. Because he buys the tires that match his bike's color, Yeah. So like,
forget the tread or the casing or anything like that.
He swears that they're good tires and they ride good, but he buys them because they're that color and because of the price.
Are these the Versus tires?
Yes. And Babyfoot. And
Babyfoot. Shout out to Babyfoot.
Yeah.
Babyfoot's injured right now, and it makes me super sad because he's not going to be able to ride on our upcoming Angel Fire trip.
Yeah. So these inserts, I put the inserts in. I did a weight comparison of one of my bikes that's got the Maxxis DHR on the rear.
Yep.
And it's an EXO casing max grip 2.5. I think it's 2.5.
Okay.
I think that's right. At WT. And it is around 1,100 grams for that tire. So it's got extra protection. The EXO is one level, and then the EXO Plus gives you a little extra.
Yep.
It's not a DD. It's not the downhill specific rating.
Yep.
My Vittoria tire is 970 grams. So that is...
Is that a trail?
That's a trail casing.
Okay.
So they have the bead protection.
So similar to the EXO,
I would say like an EXO, not an EXO Plus.
Yep.
And then I also have the insert, which is around 135 grams. And so combined, they're at 1,100 grams. So now I have a lighter, faster rolling tire.
With an insert.
So I have the similar pinch flat protection and rim protection. And then it's just faster. So, and that's really what it is. And in our terrain, this is really important because, we're talking to over 60 countries. In our terrain, that tire is really fast and still grippy. Now
You're still on the Vittoria Agarro.
Agarro. Yeah, the Saguaro is their older design. So Agarro. So the Agarro is kind of like if you took their cross country tire and it had a love child with their downhill tire. Basically.
We're talking about love children now?
Yep.
All right, perfect.
So that is my product review on these is basically great tire, super fast, corners awesome, light and agile, not necessarily for a shredder, but for a aggressive trail rider or a super aggressive cross-country person, they're a great tire.
Right on.
And just will make your bike feel a little bit lighter and more poppy.
So I've got a public service announcement.
Okay.
Related to a Vittoria product.
Okay.
So Ken sent us some product, and what he sent me was some enduro casing Mazda Martellos and some of the e-bike specific liners.
Yep. Which
I've got in my e-bike, and I've had no problem. I actually absolutely love that configuration. It's working great so far. I don't know, maybe 10 rides on it. But I also bought the airliner lights.
XCs.
Mm-hmm. And I put that on my...
those are stupid light.
Like 50 grams or something.
Yeah, they're stupid.
Don't quote me, but they're stupid light.
Yeah.
I put them on my Epic Evo, which is a kind of down country bike. Although Dane has like overstroked that bike. So I think it's like 140, 130 right now.
I think that's right. Yeah.
And I went out on a long ride for me anyways, 18 miles. And I got 6 miles in and had a sidewall rip.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're going to hear about this in the stands podcast, right? When we talk about like the dart tool, which would have solved my problem, but I didn't have a dart tool with me at the time. So I'm a big boy, 250 pounds at the current time, which by the way is down from 305. So
nice.
Can I get some, wait, that's the wrong button. Why am I laughing at myself? All right. But 250 pounds, not a light guy. And the whole like run flat thing with carbon rims and a air light on my bike didn't work with 250 pounds. So I weigh too much.
And you have which insert? The XE?
I have the XE air light.
I think that's too light.
I think if you weighed 150 pounds or 170 pounds, probably no problem. But for 250, it was too much.
Yeah.
The problem was I had a tube. I had everything I needed. I couldn't get the tire off the rim on the trail with the insert in it.
Oh,
you need like for this particular configuration of Reynolds carbon wheels with the tire that I was running, which was not a Vittoria tire. Don't get mad at me. Oh. And these inserts
just too tight.
Like I spent an hour and I could not get the tire off.
Yeah.
So I called my wife. She 4-wheel drived my truck out to sag me out. Mm-hmm. And I turned an 18-mile ride into a 7-mile ride and a 2-mile hike. So the lesson there is understand that it's hard to get the tires off on the trail with inserts in. Yeah. And if I had a Stan's dart tool, which we're going to talk, you've probably already heard this by the time this podcast comes out, we would have released the Stan's episode, but that dart tool is designed to fill bigger holes. Uh-huh. And it also has a chemical composition that reacts with the stand sealant, assuming that you're using stand sealant, and creates a forever bond. Had I had the stands tool, I would have used the dart. It would have sealed, I think.
Yeah.
Very easily. Maybe I had to use.
Did you have any bacons or anything?
I had bacons, I had all that stuff. None of it worked. It was
really?
It was
too big a hole.
Too big a hole.
Okay.
And I didn't have that much air. I had like 2 CO2 cartridges, and I expended those. So I ended up having to walk out. This is like a different type of walk of shame. But I had the walk of shame, had to walk out. So that's the lesson I learned is like, if you're running inserts, think about the implications of a trail side flat. If you had to change it and throw a tube in as an emergency, which I run those, I always carry those Tubalite, Tubalito, really thin polyurethane, tubes, because they're super light, super small. They pack down really small. They're great. They work good to get you home. I had lots of experience with the Tubalitos, and I think there's other brands that carry the poly.
Yeah, we've got them in the shop. A couple different brands make the same stuff.
Yeah, same stuff.
So,
but those were great. But that was an experience. Like you can't rely on taking a tire off with inserts in on the trail.
My first experience with Cushcore, I put it in at the shop. I got it in. It was a struggle. This is when it first came out, and we would hang the Cushcore on the bike stand on the jaws, and then you would almost sit in the hoop to stretch it out. The other trick that we tried was taking the Cushcore and putting it on the dashboard of the car for an hour or so, in 100-degree weather, to heat it up and make it more pliable. And those all worked really well. But I remember installing it on one of my downhill bikes and then needing to change a tire in my garage. I wasn't at the shop, and pull my tire off, and I'm using tire levers, and I got so angry, could not get the stupid thing off. This is when it first came out. Like, it was the only. I think there was a couple other brands on the market, but this was the stuff. Cushcore was the stuff to get, and I just got so angry. And a buddy of mine that I ride with, who had been using it too, had developed this trick, and I don't know if he stole it off the internet. I'm sure he did, but of basically putting the tire on these 50-gallon trash cans that we have in our garage,
right?
And you put it over the top of it, and you use the trash can to brace it, and then you pop the bead that way, and it's a game changer. So that's one of our bike shop secrets. If you're installing Cushcore at home, one of the best things that you can have is those plastic Rubbermaid 50-gallon, plastic trash cans, and your wheel will fit practically over the top of it perfect. And then you can use that at a good bench height almost to brace and push down with your what do you call this part of your hand? Your
palm?
Yeah, the meat of your thumb.
Yeah.
The palm of your thumb. And you can kind of just push that bead down in underneath the Cushcore and then start to pop it off. And it works so much better than trying to hold that wheel in a normal way. Normally we would just hold a wheel and we would pop it with our fingers and pop the bead off with, a couple tire levers. It's not a big deal. You just can't do Cushcore the normal way.
Well, I tried for probably several hours to get the tire off.
Yeah.
With the Vittoria airliners in it, and couldn't do it. And I didn't know about your trick.
Yep.
And so I got on Google and researched it and found out that Vittoria makes a tool. Mm-hmm. It's like $30.
You got to show me this, by the way, before I leave.
Yeah, I will. I'll show it to you tonight. So, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And so I ordered that tool. It came in literally like 20 seconds. I had the wheel off.
Yeah.
With that tool.
I got
2 hours of like banging my head against the wall, half a bottle of whiskey.
I know Cushcore has the one that people make fun of because it's shaped like a
dildo.
No, like a butt plug.
Like a butt plug. Okay, that's better. That's good.
So. But
all right.
I haven't tried that one either because with this 50-gallon trash can trick, we can do them relatively quick. We in the shop, we actually charge a little extra to do inserts because they are a lot more labor intensive.
Yeah.
But we can do it much better than struggling in your garage at home. The Cushcores can be kind of a nightmare until you use something to brace. And that was the game changer, something to hold that thing up so you can push the tire and get some leverage Whereas you can't normally do that if you're just trying to hold the rim and use one hand or what have you.
So to summarize, like what we just talked about, you and I are both, you've always been bullish on, or a big fan of Vittoria tires.
Yes. Yeah.
And so you're digging the Agarro. Thank you. And I am like a huge fanboy of Vittoria now, and I'm going through all of the 16 bikes in our.
You're a convert.
I'm a convert. You converted me. Thank you.
Yeah, conscript.
You converted me from Maxxis to Vittoria, and I'm loving every bike I want to just put Vittoria on, and I'm going through.
And
as soon as the tire wears out, I'm buying with my own money.
Yeah.
In the spirit of full disclosure, they did send us a couple tires to test.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, these are awesome.
Yeah.
So then I just expanded from then, and I've had several orders on Vittoria.com since that time.
Now we're not saying that everybody should ride Vittoria. We're not saying that everybody's going to love Vittoria. There's going to be some people that don't, because that's the beauty of having different brands is everybody gets their brand that they like. You may buy your tire because it matches your bike color. Who knows?
Babyfoot.
Yeah, babyfoot. Or, you may buy, oh man, I had a guy who would only buy like a certain tire. Like every single bike we ever built him had the exact same tires on it every single time.
He knew how to ride them.
He just would not ever change, And then guys like your buddy who come in with like a lightweight cross-country bike with DHFs on it. And then the opposite I've seen, like Recons on an enduro bike,
And you're like, what are you doing here, bro?
Yeah. So but I got to tell you that one of the things is I do ride a lot of tires, and I favor cornering. So that's where I'm coming from. If a tire is supportive in the corners and I feel as though I can rail a corner faster with it, I tend to like it more. And so I look for a certain profile. There's other tires that do that. I actually, on my cross country bike, I ride nothing but Maxxis because they make some super light tires. And I've been pretty happy with them, but the Vittorias have just been really stellar. So
there's two guys in my life that I ride with. One is Dane Higgins, the other is Chris Bonzak over from Bonzak Designs, that are like exceedingly faster than I am, just amazingly faster than I am. And so I go out and I study and I get lessons and I learn what the proper technique is, and I'm practicing all those things, and I'm studying, and I'm trying to get bike body separation and loose grip, and I'm trying to get my weight distribution correctly, and I'm trying to get all these things that we're supposed to do. And then I go ride with Dane or Chris, and neither of them follow any of these techniques at all. And they're both like twice as fast as me.
Oh man. So I've been trying to relearn things, and jumping, things like that. And you develop a habit and you do certain things, but I also have a lot of years of doing something where the other thing is that the thing that I've noticed in my deep dive of like YouTube and trying to learn from videos online, they say a lot of things. It's very difficult to actually know how to do them. And then the thing that they don't really talk about as much is what I call muscle memory, where your muscles are used to doing it.
Yeah.
And that is, sometimes I see somebody try and explain the way that somebody rides, and they describe what they look like, but it doesn't really give you an idea of the little tiny muscles they're activating and how those muscles are interacting with the bike and what they're doing. And an example of that is, I'll tell you, is like if you try and look at somebody go around a corner, you may talk about how they dip their shoulder or their angle of their elbow or something like that, or where their legs are, if their pedals down.
The butt's out to the right,
exactly.
the left-hand turn.
Their hips are and all of this.
Yep.
They cannot see how much pressure you're pulling up on one side of the bar and pushing down on the other. They can't see how much tension you're putting on the handlebars to keep that corner.
Or your feet.
Or how your feet are scooped. Like they'll talk about scooping.
Yeah.
They can't see how much you're tensioning the pedal to hold on. Or like I told you, I like to corner on descending my seat, not all the way down. They can't see sometimes how much you're bracing or holding yourself up or holding the bike from going down with your knees. And so it's funny because I who I like a lot to watch because he's super entertaining is it Ben Cathro?
Yeah. The big tall 6'8" guy.
Dude, his accent it just cracks
It's
me
awesome.
up. Yeah. So I love watching that guy, and he does a really good job of analyzing a lot of things, and I really geek out on it, and I really admire it. But then I remember all these little things, like how hard it is for me to describe what I'm doing. And then when I stop and actually try and think about what I'm doing, there's way more, way more than just pointing my hips a certain way.
How many times do you think we've ridden together?
I don't know.
10, 20?
Oh, more than that.
More than that?
Yeah.
I think I could count on one hand the amount of times I've seen you stand up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's also like a different style of riding.
Right.
You know? Like it's very different. So like, I have actually been trying to change. So I'm trying to that attack position. I used to make fun of people.
The ready position.
The ready position with their arms like stuck out. Like, and I'm just like, that's just goofy looking, but I'm trying to like emulate it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm missing out on something. I have other muscles that are probably compensating for the fact that I'm not doing that and still let me do what I do. But maybe that's a better way. You know, standing up at the jump is the big thing that I'm trying to teach my body to do. My body is so used to hitting a jump at very high speed and sucking the bike into my belly. Like it's literally like pulling the bike straight up to my belly and then pushing it back down on the landing. So if you watch me jump, I put a post on one of my socials about this. They had an example of two guys riding, and one popped the jump and went straight up in the air, and the other one like speed jumped it like I do.
Yeah.
And you can see clearly that the speed jumper is faster. He's
for
clearly
sure.
going to win the race, right? But he's not super exciting to look at. The guy popping is who everybody looks at.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to train myself to go that way because I'm used to hitting.
So you want to go slower?
It's not so much slower. I want
some steez.
Yeah,
sucker.
yeah, I do. I want some Riz. So yeah.
Oh Jesus.
So I'm trying to learn all that. So one of the things that I think people get caught up on when they're watching videos or trying to figure this stuff out is the biggest thing that I tell people, and I'm not a coach and I don't want to teach anyone.
You shouldn't get coached by Dane.
No, I'm a horrible teacher. But one thing you should remember is it all takes practice, and you have to develop the little muscle memory and the little muscles to support what you want to do. So you can't just have a position and then automatically do it. You have to do it over and over again to where that's second nature.
Develop
you
that
don't
routine.
think about it. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, like watching Lacey, my wife, we talked about her a lot, but her progressed from being fast to being like crazy fast.
Yeah.
She's gone through in I guess the common methodology that's taught today, the technique that's taught today, she is like textbook. If you ride behind her, she's doing everything like exactly like they teach you.
Yeah.
And she has gotten, she's amazingly fast.
Now I would argue that she's not gotten fast because she's emulating the textbook as much, but because she's in a good position and she does it a lot. She practices.
That's part of it for sure. But she's practicing those techniques.
Yes. It's giving her a thing to practice. Whereas if you don't have a clue, you can go out and ride the wrong way and it'll take you a lot longer. I when I learned to snowboard, I tried to teach myself to snowboard.
You know how to snowboard?
I kind of.
We should go snowboarding.
Yeah, except my knees can't take it. I was thinking about selling my snowboard. But when the first day that I snowboard, I'm like, I can figure this out. And I spent, I have to what do you have to do? You have to face down. I have to face down to get up on the board.
Oh, me too, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm too fat to get up from my butt.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I get up from my knees.
Yeah, and it kills my knees. But anyway, the first day I was trying to snowboard, I got on this little hill, not even on the ski runs.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to get up. And I spent half a day just trying to figure out how to get up.
Yeah.
And I was like, screw this. I took a lesson, and the coach had me riding and going down easily greens and blues the same day. So like half the day wasted, and then the rest of the day I'm up and riding.
So the lesson in all of this is get some fucking instruction.
If you're struggling, get somebody to help you out, because I think it really helps. I am forcing myself to do that, and I'm like swallowing my pride and thinking that I'm good, and trying to relearn stuff, and trying to get better. I'm also as I'm getting older, my body is just not happy about what I've done to it over the years. And so I'm also trying to learn how to ride in a way that doesn't kill me the next day, you know?
So for the ever shrinking audience that is based in Arizona,
why is it shrinking?
Because the audience is growing outside of Arizona.
Oh, proportion.
So the
the
percentage.
Percentage of.
It's not actually getting smaller, just the percentage is getting smaller.
I would say it's getting bigger.
It's getting bigger. Yeah. Number wise, it's getting bigger, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know why I went there. But if you're in Arizona, in Southern Arizona, homegrown Terra Alcantaras, who we've had on the podcast before, if you're looking for like gravity type stuff, fan-fucking-tastic.
Yep.
Jody Bartz, if you're a beginner just getting in, fantastic.
She's amazing.
If you're a little farther up north, Joanna Yates.
Yep. Sedona.
Sedona.
She's in Colorado right now.
She may be.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. And there's good trainers everywhere. So like go out and get some mountain bike coaching. It's outstanding.
It helps.
Should we switch to our next topic?
Sure. Go for it.
All right. Next topic. So if you go back to episode 71.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're going way back. This was in April of 24.
Is that before or after me?
You were there, man. This is Sunglass Rob.
Oh yeah. This is one of my first.
One of your first podcasts.
This is my best friend, Rob.
Sunglass Rob, who, in the spirit of full disclosure, is a good friend of ours. He's CEO of SportRX. They're based out of San Diego.
Yeah.
They're a sunglass, I guess, just optical company.
Yep.
And again, in the spirit of full disclosure, we're good friends with Rob. But at that time, before we recorded this episode, Rob got me a pair of these Huckson sunglasses.
Yep.
That Sunglass Rob, who is a deep subject matter expert in all things sunglasses, and is an avid mountain biker himself, designed, I think, specifically for mountain biking, although I don't think they market them this way. These glasses.
They don't want to pigeonhole just for mountain biking.
Yeah.
They're for everything.
Yeah, for all kinds of different sports. But the SportRX, you can get it at sportrx.com. And again, Rob's not paying me, and I've bought two. So he gave me one pair for free, prescription sunglasses that I ride with and have ridden with on every single ride since I got them in March of 2024. They still look brand new. Like somehow I managed to not lose them. And I've bought two other pairs. I bought a driving pair with polarized lenses. By the way, you shouldn't ride with polarized lenses on a mountain bike trail.
Well, yeah, there's reasons not to, and people's idea of polarized is weird. So, because they get really into like, oh, I need polarized, but you
don't.
Yeah. If you're ever wondering about that, do a deep dive, even call Rob.
Just go back to episode 71. We talk about it in there.
Yeah.
But these SportRX, and I've tried all different kinds of sunglasses for mountain biking, from Smith to Oakley to you name it. I've tried all different kinds of sunglasses. These SportRX Hucksons, $100 if you get them, not $99 if you get them non-prescription. If you get them prescription, there's all kinds of options on things you can do to the lenses and stuff. They are absolutely fantastic. The best riding glasses I've ever had.
Describe them. I think they look like kind of like a Wayfarer. Is that fair?
Wayfarer? I don't know what that is.
Ray-Ban Wayfarers. Let's see. So they're kind of squared off lenses.
Yeah, little squared off lenses.
They don't look like, M frames or anything like
that.
Nope,
they don't look like M frames.
They're not blades or anything like that. Yep. They're separate lenses.
Yep, two separate lenses. Yep. They're plastic. They've got really good grip on Rob's going to be pissing me because I don't know all the right terms, but like where they go around your ears, they grip really well. Where they go around your nose, they grip
have little
really well.
rubber grippers?
Little rubber things inside. They grip really well. They have a good set of coverage. They have
big thing is the squared off at the bottom, so you have more viewpoint.
More viewpoints. Yeah. Good for wind, good in rain, good in sun. I've got the rose-colored ones, which are outstanding for the trail that Rob designed specifically for riding, for mountain biking. I've got transition lenses that change based on how much sun there is, and that's a big deal for us in the desert.
Yeah.
So I can go out at 6:30 when it's still light, and when I get back at 8:39, it's getting dark. I'm not like completely blind. I put them on and I don't even realize they're there. I can see amazing. I used to ride with contacts and then regular glasses, and now I've switched to just riding with these prescription glasses. I have non-prescription one as well that I bought with my own money. I have driving ones that I bought with my own money. They're like the only sunglasses I wear. So like the SportRX Hucksons for the price are just fucking fantastic.
So after we did that episode, I will tell you, like multiple customers came into the shop and told me that they were buying glasses from them.
Have you gotten any feedback from them?
Yeah, they love them. So their customer service is amazing. And so far,
fantastic customer service.
So far, I think one customer said that he had an issue and had to do a return, and it was smooth and seamless.
Yep.
And other than that, everybody I've heard has just loved them. So the long-term test is that you not only used them, because in that episode you were using them. You wrote them.
I had already ridden them a couple times.
Yeah.
And so we talked about that. Now I've ridden them for more than a year.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to replace them.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many years in the future I'm going to ride them, but like if I crash and break them or do something like that, I'm going to buy another pair of SportRX Hucksons.
So, and I feel like his expertise and the way that company is designed to to give you the most help getting you the right glasses for the way you're going to use them. And that's probably, if I'm hopefully I'm doing him a service and saying it that way, because his passion for getting people the right pair of glasses,
it's a big deal.
Yeah. Like he does not want to just slap his name on a box and send it out the door. That's not the goal. He wants that person to get the best optical, what do they call themselves?
Opticians?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't remember, but it's in the episode, so you guys should listen to it if you're into this stuff. But that is a rave review. Now, can I tell you about my glasses?
Yeah, but can I finish one part of the story?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I texted Rob today.
Okay.
I was like, hey, we're going to test out this talking about product thing.
Yeah.
I'm not sold, but Dane's all into it.
Yeah.
We're going to see what the listeners think. And I asked him a couple questions. Are you going to still sell the Hucksons long term? He said, yep. I said, is it still a top seller for you? He said, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And I said, is there anything new coming out? He said, yep. ANSI rated safety version and a version in clear frame front with matte black temples. So he's all stoked about that. Then he said, hey, let me call in and come on the podcast. And I said, no, man.
Yeah.
If we bring you on, that's that's unbiased.
Like
that's a bias. That's a bias.
Yeah.
This is an advertisement.
Yeah.
I'm a real user. I'm a real customer.
Yeah.
These were fucking awesome. If you're struggling with either prescription or regular sunglasses to ride in, check out the Hucksons.
Yeah.
Okay. Over to you, buddy.
I think I'm going to probably call them and get a pair, but I have to get my eyes checked. So
you said that in March of 2024.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you about the glasses that I wear. I don't. And I got to tell you, I'm not proud of it. It's really that I misplace my riding glasses all the time. And every time I've gone out in the last, I'd say few months, I think I've gotten a bug in the eye every single time. And it's driving me insane because I normally don't wear them, not because I don't need them. I could use them. But mainly because I've either left them in the wrong car, can't find them, or, they're with my gloves that I can't find, and then I'm riding with no gloves and no glasses. So I've just gotten used to not doing them. But man, lately we were preparing for this podcast and I'm doing notes on the tires, and Lacey is like, how can you even see your phone? And I'm like,
I can't.
It's a blurry mess. So I'm going to have to call Rob and talk to him about a pair of glasses. So yeah,
they have readers. They also make that. They have two different styles. They have the Huckson and the Huckson XL.
Yeah.
So if you're a big boy, you can run the XL. I am a big boy. Maybe I don't have a big face. Not sure, but I ride the normal Hucksons, and they work outstanding for me. So, but you can call them, and they've got, like I said, amazing customer service. So
I just want some clear ones so the bugs don't hit me in the eyes.
Yeah.
And I have a little protection because every once in a while I'll be behind somebody and rocks will kick up or something like that, like the little debris. We were riding Sunrise a couple weeks ago,
which is a bike park in northern Arizona.
So chairlift riding. So that's one more product that I'm going to talk about real quick. So we're in Sunrise, and it's super powdery was where I was going with that. And so it was a dust
Wait,
fest.
There was snow?
No. It felt like it. There was a good layer of powder on the ground, but it was dust.
Right.
So, and it was like moon dust. So it's just.
And this was early summer in Arizona where we haven't had the monsoons come in with the rain yet. So that's expected.
It's super dry. So the next product I'm going to talk about is a product that we didn't buy. I just get to test and use. And one of our listeners actually is letting me borrow it so I can try it out. And it is the Frameworks. So I built up the Frameworks downhill frame. So size medium. This is not the most current version. It's the one before. So they've done a tiny bit of tweaking on the new version.
Framework is Nico's company?
Yeah, Nico Mullally.
Yep.
And that's also one of the ones that the Faction Bike Studio, who we've done podcasts with, has helped develop. And so this bike's pretty sweet. It's it has a mullet 27.5 rear, mated to a 29 front. I'm running Fox 40 on the front and a Fox DHX2 coil on the rear.
That's a double crown on the front?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And I built it up with a set of Guru carbon wheels, so custom carbon wheels, and
Guru is your specific brand.
Yeah, our brand of wheels, and they're the DH rated ones. So I'm testing those at the same time. I'll tell you about the review of this bike. So one cool thing is I pull up in the Sunrise parking lot and unload the bikes. And the first thing is somebody comes up and goes, "Is that a Frameworks?" So that was pretty cool. So it's a famous bike if you're paying attention to downhill bikes. Just this last weekend, on this little timestamp when we're recording this, Asa, who rides for Nico, just won the hardline.
Oh, did he? Did Asa win?
Yeah. And so on that bike. And so it's pretty cool to see the bike that I'm riding. Now, I'm not doing it justice. I'm definitely not doing 50
No, you don't even stand up.
Anything. Yeah, no, I don't. So first ride review is I rode it at Sunrise. Sunrise has, they have a couple greens, but they have pretty nasty terrain.
Yeah.
And so on the smooth stuff, it felt good. The suspension, I took a couple runs to set up the suspension, but it's just Fox stuff. So there's nothing really crazy in setting up the suspension. It's a 4-bar.
We should put it in context. You are an expert in suspension, so for you it was easy.
So my point is, I got the suspension set up pretty easily.
Yep.
So that wasn't a factor.
Yep.
So I could really test how the frame fell. I'm trying to compare it to my Pivot 29. So I have a Phoenix 29 front and rear 29 carbon bike. Amazingly enough, my carbon bike has got DVO front and rear suspension with carbon wheels, carbon cranks, and XO-DH group on it.
Yep.
And it weighs around 36 pounds for my downhill bike. My Enduro Firebird weighs 36 pounds. The Frameworks frame is all aluminum front end with a carbon rear end and an aluminum rocker, a coilover, and the triple clamp Fox. Guess how much that bike weighed?
38 pounds.
36 pounds.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. So lifting the frame by itself, it felt pretty substantial, like downright heavy. I was like kind of bummed that it was heavy. And I was like, wow, that's okay. I get to ride it. I'm not buying it. I'll just, no big deal. The finished product came out the same weight as my carbon fiber.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I was really surprised. They're both size medium.
Is it really apples to apples with the component group?
So now I did slap the Frameworks together with stuff lying around. So it's funny because on my Phoenix, I've got carbon bars and I'm running, I think, Guide RSC or Guide Ultimate brakes. I'm a notorious underbreaker. I don't need big brakes on my bikes.
Because you don't brake.
Yeah, I try not to. My wheel set on the Phoenix is I9 hubs with Guru rims. And the Guru rims are pretty light, but they're the downhill rated ones. So they're probably 400 grams a piece for the rims themselves before the wheel. So probably around 1,800 gram wheel set. And carbon XO-DH cranks. So they're carbon, but they're not super light. Alloy C-post, coil over DVO, and then DVO Onyx DC front fork. So not the lightest fork on the market.
Right.
And then the XO group is a 7-speed. So it's like this tiny little XO SRAM downhill group. It's got 7 speeds and they're all tight. So there's no climbing gears. On the Frameworks, I built it up with the Fox 40, the DH coil, and I have the custom Guru wheels. So I have Guru wheels on that too. So that should be a wash. Although one's a 27.5 and with an Onyx hub on the rear, which is heavier. And alloy GX cranks. So nothing special, but a XX access drivetrain with a full 1052 cassette.
So you got batteries on the you got batteries on the Phoenix and
no, that's
batteries on the Frameworks.
Yeah. So I feel like that's even heavier.
This doesn't make any sense to me.
I know. It doesn't make sense why it's lighter. I'm trying to think. So on both bikes, I have Vittoria. So I have Vittoria on both bikes, Martellos and Mazda combos.
I'm questioning your weighing protocol at this point.
I weighed them right next to each other and took pictures. So I have proof.
I don't know.
So now both were without pedals.
Of course, because you don't weigh anything with pedals.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think. I do have a carbon bar. I have a carbon Envy bar on the Frameworks, and it's alloy bar on the downhill bike or on the Pivot. So yeah, I can't. I just don't feel like. So one thing about this Frameworks frame is it's welded up by a guy, Frank the welder. So he's a really cool guy.
Yeah, we've talked about him before.
Yeah, he's in fact I started following him on socials, and it's fun because he is just cranking out frames. I forgot who he's working for now, but he's like the hired gun of welding aluminum.
Right.
So I know that the frame is not sloppy, which means it doesn't have a lot of excess on it. And so I bet you that aluminum frame, as strong as it is, doesn't have a ton of extra weight on it. And then it's got a carbon fiber rear end, which I don't know much about. I'd love to ask Nico about.
That's an interesting idea. I mean, I've always thought that because the rear ends are so fragile, like why would you do carbon fiber on the rear end?
I think it's weight versus stiffness. You can make it stiffer.
Yeah.
Engineering carbon, you can get a lot of characteristics.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Huh. So, one's a horse bar, one's a DW link. So back to the ride. So, powdery conditions, pretty loose. You know,
you're back at You've taken us all the way back from this comparison of weights to Sunrise Bike Park in Northern Arizona.
Yeah, first couple runs were pretty good, and I was able to just get right on the bike, like feel pretty comfortable.
The Frameworks.
Yeah. Ride quality, it was pretty bottomless. So as we progressed through the day and went from the greens to the blues to the blacks, and then there's a pretty big jump from the blues to the blacks at Sunrise. They're pretty nasty. They're not necessarily big, huge road gaps or anything. They're just chunky and steep. And so there's one of the trails that most of the time they race on called Sticks and Stones. So we did a Sticks and Stones, and that intersects with a trail called World Cup. And then I forgot which trail we ended up finishing out on. That's a pretty substantial run. They raced the downhill last.
I mean, they have one of the big mountain enduros there at Sunrise, right?
Yeah, and they have some downhills going on there now too. And so the bike did really well. What I was really happy with is on those steep sections where there was a drop in the middle of the steep. So you're already at a steep angle and then there's a drop. I never felt too far over the front. I didn't feel...
I felt wheelbase.
I think I was pretty centered over the back. The seat tube on this thing is really, really, really steep. And you think that I don't ever stand up on a bike.
I know you do. I'm just joking.
On a downhill bike, I never sit down, because the seat's not where I want it. It's way too far forward. I'm standing the whole time. I didn't ever feel like I was going to get trapped by the tire and the seat, even though it was really forward. I never felt a bottom out, which was nice. Because I'm a big guy, and I didn't change the spring from the guy who loaned it to me. So
you're not a big guy.
I'm bigger than my height.
Okay,
so let's put it that way.
Yeah. So you carry a little more mass than the average person.
I'm stocky. You're stocky. Yeah. So
you're looking good, man. Did you lose some weight, by the way? I was going to ask you that.
I stopped eating.
Okay, so, that's good. Yeah, you should definitely not eat. Just don't.
Yeah,
just don't eat.
I found that you lose weight pretty quick. Yeah. But ride characteristics, it pedals. So I was really amazed on how well it pedaled. That's not usually something that they focus on a downhill bike, but this thing, when you want to put down the power and sprint, it goes. There's no bobbing and lagging. It just pedals really, really well. The super smooth, very bottomless on big stuff. Jumps, I felt I don't get huge air. Like I said, I speed jump mostly, but I felt pretty confident in the air. All in all, it was like just kind of, you could tell it's a World Cup level bike when you get on it. It's not, there was nothing that bike couldn't handle that I was willing to do. So
I'm looking on Framework's website right now.
Yeah.
Just to give our if there's anybody that heard that, explanation and they definitely want to have one. It looks like the frame, they just sell frame.
Yep. Just frame.
And they have a DH frame and Enduro frame. It looks like the Enduro frame is not available, or they're working on making it available. They don't have any available right now, but how much do you think the downhill frame costs?
I know it costs $4,500.
It's $38.99 right now.
Is that a sale? Does it say that it's sale?
No, $38.99 on their website right now.
Originally $45.
Of course, they only have large available today.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No mediums.
So I'm really lucky that one of our listeners actually is letting me use this thing. So now my negative feedback so far. Yeah, the only thing there's two things that happened on the bike that I didn't like that I can't super explain. Like I don't 100% know what's going on, but we're going to put a different rear wheel on the bike and try it again. And
it's the O-chain thing.
I have a
pedal kickback.
Yeah, I was getting some chatter in the roughest sections, almost to where my feet were getting kicked off the pedals. And the aha moment is what I realized is, somebody's like, oh, you need an O-chain. And then I realized the hub that's on this wheel set that I put on the bike is an Onyx. And an Onyx has a kind of instant engagement. They're silent. They're really cool because they're silent. It's something that I don't care at all about, but I've sold them to customers because they want this silent experience. When they stop pedaling, they don't want to hear the ratchet. Yeah, exactly.
I love the ratchet.
I do too, I didn't notice it as being something I was really excited about.
Right.
So, but that Onyx is instant. So we're going to take it to Sunrise, not this coming weekend, but the following. And we're going to try it with a low engagement hub, which means kind of a low end. I think I got a DT Swiss, with like an 18 tooth or 18 degree or whatever it is. I think it's 18 tooth.
Yep.
Drive ring in it, and that should give me a different experience.
Enough play to where you're not experiencing because that's an interesting thing. The pedal kickback happens less when you have a low engagement hub.
Yeah. And so we're going to try that first because I don't want to buy a no-chain and I don't want to buy a side, whatever. FSA has this new hub that does the similar thing. This is a thing on the World Cup that they're trying to work on where the rear end, as it moves, it doesn't yank your
yank your chain back.
And, on the same note, your feet doesn't isolate or stop the suspension from moving smooth.
Couldn't you also just turn your clutch off?
I don't have a clutch on that one. It's not got a switch. It's SRAM.
Okay.
So,
but it's still got a clutch,
but it's not the clutch doing it. It's the top of the chain.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily the bottom
of the chain
because the cage would give it some movement. It's the top of the chain. So we'll see if this low engagement gives me a different experience. The other thing that I noticed is it's a mullet bike, and riding it with a smaller rear wheel. I've ridden mullets before and not had this kind of sensation, but in some of the bigger berms where I really just carried speed and I would hit that berm, it really felt squirrely, almost like the rear wheel was sliding up the berm. And I'm not 100% sure what was going on. So I think with the different wheel, I'm also going to put a different tire on.
What did you have in the back?
I had a Martello, but I had a pretty clapped out Martello. Because again, I kind of threw this together.
Pieced together with what you got, right?
So I think I'm going to put a fresher tire on the back and just make sure it's not just a grip thing.
Yeah.
See if it's the size, because I'm used to riding 29s in the rear, and it shouldn't make a difference. But I just want to make sure, because we're going to go back to the same trails, ride the same trails with a different wheel and a different tire. See if we get a different.
Super interesting. Yeah. For the whole time I've known you, I've known that you're someone that likes the big thing in the rear end.
Yeah. That's what they said. That's what she said. Something like that. So.
All right. Well, I had this whole list of like 10 bike shop secret questions to ask you, but bro, we are freaking out of time.
Well, I'm glad we did this, and I really hope if people enjoy this episode.
Yeah, let us know, because I don't think you guys want to hear about products like this.
Yeah, you may hate this.
Dane thinks you do.
Yeah.
Let us know who's right.
Yeah.
And then if you guys say Dane
or
likes
if there's if there's a product that you want to hear about, if you're tired of hearing about downhill bikes and you want to hear about gravel bikes or road bikes, you're listening to the wrong podcast. But
gravel bikes we could talk about.
We could, yeah, that's for sure. So
because that's just mountain biking.
Yeah.
Lacey says because I love riding my gravel bike on trail. She says I'm transitioning at the point. I probably shouldn't say that.
You're in transition.
I'm transitioning to a road biker.
It's okay to be a bicyclist.
A bicyclist, yeah.
So.
Yeah. No judgment whatsoever. I love my gravel bike. I don't care who knows it. I love my cross country bike, my downhill bike, I don't have a downhill bike, my down country bike, my enduro bike. I love all of them.
Yes.
You got any final thoughts for our listeners, buddy?
I think that's it. Hopefully everybody goes out and rides their bike.
Ride your fucking bike.